Good morning, students. Today's topic of discussion is cooperative societies. Students, you must have heard the word cooperation. Cooperation means working together or to help each other. And cooperative society derives its meaning from the word cooperation. In it, there is in this definition there are four main things, that is working together, common purpose, voluntary association and welfare motive. And the meaning of cooperative society is a voluntary association of persons who join together with the motive of welfare of the members. A more detail of meaning of cooperative society is, it is a voluntary association of persons. It is working together with common economic objective. It provides support to the members. It provides self-help and mutual help. And it has non-profit motive. It is pooling individual resources for group welfare and it works for common benefits. Mean to say, there is no compulsion on any member to enter or to exit from the organization. So it is voluntary association of persons, and all persons in the cooperative society work together with the same common object. It provides help to its member. Each member, by working in the cooperative society, does self-help and does the help of others also. And cooperative societies do not have profit motive. It pool the resources of its member and work for the welfare of the whole group for the common benefit. Some of the examples of cooperative societies are IFFCO, that is Indian Farmer Fertilizers Cooperative Limited. This is one of the biggest cooperative society in the world. Another important example is Amul. Yes, Amul is also a cooperative society in which about 3.6 million farmers are the members who supply milk to it on daily basis. Another important example of women cooperative societies, Shri Mahila Grih Udyog, who produces Lijjat Papad. Students, I took this clip from your NCERT book, and this Amul's case study is given. All of you have heard the name of Amul. Every day Amul collects 4,47,000 liters of milk from 12 million farmers and converts the milk into branded packaged products and deliver goods worth rupees 6 crore to over 5 lakh retail outlets across the country. Although 2.2 million, 12 million is given here, but the present number of members in Amul cooperative is 3.6 million. Yes, you heard right. 3.6 million farmers or milk producers are the members of this cooperative society, and they sell their milk through this cooperative society, Amul. Formation of a cooperative society is quite easy. A cooperative society can be formed as per the provisions of Cooperative Societies Act 1912. Students, do remember this. There is an act for cooperative societies, that is Cooperative Societies Act 1912. And minimum number of member in cooperative society is 10 persons, at least 10 adult persons, 10 persons who have achieved the age of 18 years or plus can become the member of cooperative society, and all of them have to fill a joint application as per the laws of the society, and they have to fill all the detail about the society and its member and to submit it to the registrar of cooperative societies of the concerned state. And after the scrutiny of application, the registrar issues a certificate of registration. As I told you, in case of registration of partnership firm, there is an office of registrar of firms in every state. Similarly, in case of cooperative society, there is an office of registrar of cooperative societies, in which all members have to give a joint application as per the law, and after checking that application, after the scrutiny of that application, the registrar issue the certificate of registration. Here are some of the characteristics of cooperative society. By studying this, the meaning of cooperative society will be more clear to you. The first feature of cooperative society is its open membership. As I told you, a minimum of 10 members are required to form a cooperative society, but Cooperative Society Act does not specify the maximum number of members for any cooperative society. There is no limit on the maximum number of members. And second thing is, membership is open to all, irrespective of their religion, caste and gender. The second feature of cooperative society is that it is a voluntary association of members. Members can join and as well as leave the cooperative society voluntarily, that is by choice. No one can be forced to become the member of cooperative society, and no one can be forced to remain in the society. A person who wants to leave the membership of the cooperative society can give advance notice, and then after the completion of notice period, he or she can leave the cooperative society. And another important feature is state control. As I told you that the cooperative societies are registered and by the registrar of cooperative society of the respective state, and that's why cooperative societies are placed under state control. The state government has control over the cooperative societies working in the state. Another important feature is source of finance. It is basically pooling of individual resources for group welfare. So the members in the cooperative society contribute the capital in form of shares. Also, it gets grants from the state government after its registration, and it can easily raise loans from various banks after its registration. So basically, the sources of finance are capital contributed by members, bank loans and grants from government. And its most important feature is its democratic management. As you know, there are many members in a cooperative society, so all can't run the business of cooperative society. The management is done by the elected members, and these elected members are called board of directors, and they represent all the society members. Another important characteristic is its service motives. cooperatives are not formed to earn profit. These are formed for the service of, for the welfare of its members. And its important characteristics is its separate legal entity, which is not present in the sole proprietorship and partnership. A cooperative society is registered under the Cooperative Societies Act 1912, and after the registration a society becomes a separate legal entity. That means a cooperative society can purchase property on its name, can have its bank account on its name, and the liability of its member is limited. Means the members do not have to pay out of their personal funds to the creditors of the cooperative society. Distribution of surplus is another important feature. Every cooperative society, in addition to providing services to its member, also generates some profit. Although it's work for the service motive, it works for non-profit motive, but if it is having any profit, it distributes the profit between its members. Basically, cooperative society is self-help through mutual cooperation. Cooperative society thrive on the principle of mutual help. Mutual help means doing the help of each other. For example, if there are various members in the cooperative society, A, B, C, D and so on, A helps B and others, and B helps A and all others, and does the self-help also. Basically, these are the organization of financially weaker sections of the society. Students, now we will discuss some of the merits of cooperative societies. The most important merit is its equality in voting status. The principle of one man, one vote governs the cooperative society. Mean to say that each person has equal voting right. Whether the person is contributing more capital or less, he will have one vote in the organization. Suppose there are one member is contributing 1000 rupees in the organization, and other person is having more shares in the cooperative society, is contributing rupees 1 lakh, but both person will have equal voting right. Next important merit is its limited liability. The liability of the member of the cooperative society is limited to the extent of their capital contribution. The personal assets of the members are therefore safe from being used to repay business debts. Stable existence means that the death, bankruptcy or insanity of any of the member of the cooperative society does not affect the continuity of a cooperative society. A cooperative society operates unaffected even after the death of any of member. Next important merit is its economy in operation. As I told you that in cooperative society the work is done on the basis of service motive. So many members generally offer honorary service to the cooperative society. Means they do not charge any money for providing services to the cooperative society, or they charge very nominal fee in the cooperative society. So the cost is very less. There is economy in operation in the working of cooperative society. Another important benefit of cooperative society is support from government. As I told you, the government gives grant to the cooperative society. Government also helps cooperative society in the form of low taxes, subsidies and low interest rate on loans. Another important merit is ease of formation. As I told you that cooperative societies can easily be formed under Cooperative Societies Act 1912. It can be formed by 10 adult persons, means the persons who have achieved the age of 18 years, and they can get it registered by doing some simple legal formality. Now we will discuss some of the limitations of cooperative societies. One of its limitation is its limited resources. Students, as I already told you that the source of finance of cooperative society is capital contribution from its members, and generally its member comes from the weaker section of society, does not have sufficient money to invest in the cooperative society. Also, cooperative societies run for service motive and does not provide much profit on the capital investment, so people do not want to invest money, so the resources of a cooperative societies are limited. And as its resources are limited, there is inefficiency in management, because cooperative societies cannot afford employing expert managers. We cannot pay sufficient salaries to expert managers. That's why there is inefficiency in management in cooperative societies. Also, I told you the members provide honorary services on a voluntary basis, and they are also not professionally equipped to handle the management of business effectively. As a result of open discussions in the meeting of members as well as disclosure obligation as per Societies Act, it is difficult to maintain secrecy about the operations of a cooperative society. All issues are discussed in the meeting of members, and also it is compulsory for a cooperative society to publish its accounts and to disclose everything about its business operation as per the Societies Act. So there is no secrecy in case of cooperative society. Government interference is always there. As I told you that there are various subsidies and grants provided by the government to the cooperative society, but along with these grants and subsidies, government also interferes in the operations of the cooperative society, and the government interference negatively affects its freedom of operation. Differences of opinion. Although, as I told you that it is cooperative societies are run by its board of directors, but there is always a difference of opinion between the members and between the board members also. Although these cooperative societies are made for welfare motives and formed for the welfare of all of its members, but sometimes personal interests may start to dominate the welfare motive, and the benefit of other members may take a back seat if personal gain is given preference by certain members. There are different types of cooperative societies on the basis of nature of their operations. These cooperative societies are consumers cooperative societies, producers cooperative societies, marketing cooperative societies, farmers cooperative societies, credit cooperative societies, and cooperative housing society. The first type of cooperative society is consumers cooperative societies. Consumer cooperative societies are formed to protect the interest of general consumers, and these societies make consumer goods available at a reasonable prices and source goods directly from the producers or manufacturers and eliminates middlemen in the distribution process. Some examples of consumers cooperative societies are केंद्रीय भंडार, अपना बाजार, सरकारी भंडार, employees consumer cooperative societies, etc. Producers cooperative society. As its name indicates, these cooperative societies are formed to protect the interest of small producers. In this, small producers come together to easily make available raw materials, tools, equipment and machinery, etc. All small producers pool their resources to buy raw materials, tools and equipment, etc. And these producers cooperative societies also arrange marketing and distribution channels. Some of the examples of producers cooperative societies are Amul, Bayanika, Haryana Handloom, etc. Cooperative marketing cooperative society. As it is clear from its name that these societies help small producers and manufacturers to market their product so that small producers can sell their products in the market easily and they are not exploited by the middlemen. These marketing societies collect the finished products from different producers and sells them into the market on a reasonable price. Some of the examples are UP Handloom, Cooptex and Anand Milk Union Limited, that is Amul. Amul is both producer cooperative society and marketing cooperative society. Credit cooperative societies are formed to provide financial supports to its member. In this, member contribute their money, it accepts deposits from the member, and from this money it grants loans to its member at reasonable rate of interest. All the funds are pooled by the member, and whenever any member needs loan, the loan is provided at a reasonable rate from the capital contribution by other members. Some examples are Village Service Cooperative Credit Society and Employees Cooperative Credit Society. Farmers cooperative societies are formed by small farmers so that they can pool small holdings. As you know, small farmers have a small piece of land to do agriculture. They just pool their land, they just pool their resources and work to the benefits of large scale of farming. And some of the examples are lift irrigation cooperative societies and pani panchayats at housing cooperative society. These cooperative societies provides residential accommodation to its members. These societies construct houses. These society firstly collects money from its members and then it constructs houses from that money and it provides residential accommodation to members at reasonable rates, and it also provides amenities and takes care of maintenance and repairs.